How many Democrats does it take to blow an election? That is the question party leaders here in California are fretting about. We're talking about the governor's race. The ballot in the June primary will list all the candidates, Democrats and Republicans, together. That's how it works here. The top two will advance to the fall general election. But with so many Democrats in the race, so many, they could split the vote, and there is a possibility that two Republicans and no Democrats could move forward in deep blue California. My very smart panel of Californians are here. I'm so excited to talk to you about this because it is absolutely fascinating to me. Let's just put up on the screen the Democrats that we're talking about. And then after that, we'll talk about the Republicans. I mean, look at that list. And this is not exclusive. I mean, there are a lot more, Maeve, than what we have up there. A lot of them are names that Inside Politics viewers will recognize, mostly because they came from Washington. Katie Porter, we know that she had some issues. Javier Becerra, Tom Steyer, what ran for president, a billionaire activist. Eric Swalwell is a congressman, the former mayor of LA, Antonio Villaraigosa, and the list goes on and on and on.
It does, and there have been some really interesting new entrants into the race. Matt Mahan, the mayor of San Jose, and also, Eric Swalwell somewhat recently got into the race. So they are all just dividing up this vote. And when you have, a jungle primary situation where people are in the teens, it is anyone's ball game, and it's just a wild race. You could potentially have the two Republicans rising
we'll
to
put
the
them
top.
up on the screen as well. We're talking about the Riverside County Sheriff and Steve Hilton, who certainly has a famous last name.
Yeah, well, Chad Bianco is the Riverside County Sheriff. Steve Hilton was on Fox News for many years, hosting a weekend show, so he's got a lot of fans in that space. And they're both kind of even in the mid-teens. So you do see this possibility. Is it going to happen? Probably not. But the fact that it's even a possibility in a state that has 2-to-1 Democrats to Republicans. Remember, in this state, there has been no Republican elected statewide since 2006. And that guy's name was Arnold Schwarzenegger, who was married to a Kennedy and was the most famous movie star in the world.
That's right.
So the idea that the state could be run by a Republican when every single statewide office holder is a Democrat, and Democrats have 2/3 majorities in both chambers here, is kind of wild.
But there's so much money that is waiting in the wings. I mean, we've all seen this movie, particularly in California before, where these outside groups come in to, strengthen one of the Republicans and try to sort of even out, turn it more into a two-man race.
Well, that's what they usually do. So usually in California, there is a Democratic frontrunner who then spends money to try to lift a Republican into the top two, so that way they win because there's so many more Democrats. But that may not happen right now because there isn't a Democratic frontrunner. If you think about it, so many big names who could have cleared the field passed.
That's right. No Kamala Harris.
No Kamala Harris. No Alex Padilla, the senator. No Attorney General Rob Bonta. Rick Caruso, billionaire businessman. They all said, no, we're not running.
Can you talk a little bit more? You mentioned the
mayor of San
Jose mayor, which we were talking about in the break.
Matt Mahan.
Matt Mahan. I mean, I have just heard from Democrats here in California that he is somebody who might be emerging. But to do that, you have to get attention.
Yeah, and he's a newcomer to the race. He's a newcomer to the scene, but he has a really interesting record in San Jose. He really put a marker on accountability for, homelessness funding. He did a big push in data. He's got a lot of people from Silicon Valley that are really behind him, and it'll be so fascinating to see if big tech money does come in behind him, because, right now the race is awash in money just because of one Tom Steyer. Right. But he's never made it very far, in the rankings when he ran for president, and also here just in poll numbers. So, if real tech money comes in behind the mayor of San Jose, that could be a real battle.
I mean, the interesting thing about Mahan is he has gotten attention for going against Gavin Newsom, basically saying the way that this state has run in terms of homelessness, in terms of crime, has been too liberal. So let's attack Newsom. But that happens at a time when Newsom is emerging as a Democratic frontrunner and the face of the anti-Trump resistance. So will that message of let's focus on state issues work at a time when this race and so many races have become so nationalized?
And it'll make it a fascinating lens into Newsom's record as the rest of the country is vetting him. You know, if this becomes the conversation of how much he's accomplished in the last couple of years. And I'm sure that all the other 2028ers will love that conversation.
Which is why Newsom probably does not want Mahan to be the guy to have somebody who's bringing up his negatives.
When he was asked about him recently, he was like, oh, that guy.
Who is that? Who is that? I don't know him. Yeah.
I love California politics. You guys
It
are
is fun.
so lucky. Well, we'll be doing a lot more of it. Thank you both. Appreciate it.
Great to see you.
Thank you.